The first question is, what was the costume slash wardrobe budget, and how long did it take you to put it together?
You must also realize that this film, it follows what is called the quest. The quest model is basically two people looking for something. In this case, there was the great-grandson of the spirit or so, looking for the spirit and the girl. So basically, we had just a very small cast, core cast, that is, okay, that's basically like 3-4 people. So most of our budget was spent on these 4 people. And of course, we had extras. A lot of our extras were required by the contract with them to bring in their own costumes. But the only extras I think we included were the policemen. We had about 40-something or so of them. So we included those ones. Costume budget came in just a little under $1 million. Okay. Now, how long it took? As I said, we had been looking for money for this film for like 4 years, and in that time, we had done as much preparation as we could using the resources we had at that time. Meaning that we already had some pre-sketches for costumes. Okay. So when the money now came in, all that we actually had to do was meet with the then expanded production team and decide what to keep, what to throw away, and then we went and so. But that still took about 2 months. It should have taken about 3 months because not all of the costumes worked as well. I wish I had brought sketches of some of our past costumes. Not all of them worked as well as they should have. Let's take it back. Okay, this character, for instance, okay, the concept of this is a priestess about 200 years ago, who is the only person able to stop the assassin. Now, the simple plot is that there is this guy on that's Igbo for death, and he's an assassin. Okay, but he only kills people, rulers, princes, chiefs, kings, that kind of thing. And he does that all the time. And then he plans to kill one king, like played by Emeka, and then this priestess, she has some sort of course, supernatural power. She stops him, and she tells them that they can't kill him, they can only burn him, but the spirit will keep living and all that. Now, for that, we needed an actress that will epitomize that kind of power. So we thought, what we do? So we thought an albino, a girl who has an albino gene can do that, and we looked for one. But now, if you notice, the original idea was that she was supposed to be like half mermaidish. So basically, we were planning that all this side of her, if you notice, there are some stuff. These are supposed to be scales. Okay, these are supposed to be scales. I think in that regard, our makeup person, maybe because of time, I think she said she needed to get stuff from overseas and there wasn't time. But then the rest of her costume, for instance, was supposed to be something that would look African and yet a little, because we wanted sex appeal in this film, but not in a vulgar way, but yes, we did want some sort of sex appeal. So that's how it resulted in this. So it's not, if you see original concept drawing or sketches of this character. It's not, I wouldn't say we nailed it, but we came so far as she's different anyway. She's different, and they say no viewer basically saw the original concept anyway in the sketches. So what they see, it's good enough, it works. So that basically.
It seems that most of the costume are not really going to be wearable because they were made specifically. So like this your movie now or other movies you've worked on, what happens to the costume? Do you bank it and maybe when you're going to do another movie you try to rework it, or it just goes with that particular movie then? And the last question I was going to ask, if all the time on your set you have the hairstylist and makeup artist always with you, or do they maybe drop off their assistants, come in, I mean not all the time because I don't know how much they are paid, whether they have other productions, so maybe they come to some particular key scenes, and since you're saying you shot in Lagos and Warri, I don't know how the commuting was, and I guess the nearly 1 million you said is exclusive of makeup and hair.
Just wardrobe.
Sorry, yeah, just wardrobe. So makeup and hair, was it also a big budget? So those are my questions.
All right. The first one was if we still use the costumes. No, the answer is no. There are some costumes, like every film production company should have a wardrobe department. Okay, that's how it should work. You should have a small place where you keep all your clothing for films. Some of them you can use again because some of them are basic, like a t-shirt, a white t-shirt, a pair of black trousers. You need stuff like that from film to film, so you can just try to. But some specialized costumes like this, you might not want to use them again.
My name is Eugenia. I won't talk much because I haven't seen the whole thing, but I just noticed something when you played the martial arts scene. And that's where my question is. Have you done anything like an open critics section in Nigeria? Because you're telling our story. African, I agree, but this is our story. We need to see it, believe in it, relate to it, because probably even the Niger Delta people, they were there when it happened. It could help you. During the martial art thing, I saw the spirit of, I don't know his name, slashed somebody with a knife. There was supposed to be blood stains, but his knife didn't have blood stains. When he stabbed the person, his knife came, I saw it, there was no blood stains. So I'm wondering why.
Okay, so it's by no means, this was done like a year and a half ago. All of those shots, they are blood washes actually. Yeah, we've done all the CG because all our blood sets were done with CG. So and then about the post-mortem open session, we call that the post-mortem. Yeah, we have held limited post-mortems. We've not held anything for like an invited general public. Again, nobody does that. The best we do is that we get the money back, and then we go to all that. We go to the POD before we now do general release DVDs for everybody. It's not rocket science. It's not as if we've perfected one distribution. But as I said, it's the environment we live in. we did try, but what gave us comfort was that a film like PJ, for instance, made almost 40 million, just in Nigeria. That is documented, it's sure. So we are like, okay, and then again, I would say, if we had gone on to make a film for, like 3 films for 25M, that would be like about 8 million each. We wouldn't have been able to put in those elements that we hinged our whole marketing on, which are people jumping everywhere. Our thought was that then this will bring people into the theaters, this will bring people into the cinema. People will say, okay, this is something new. Even if it's just to go and come to Yabos, let them come first, but let them pay the money to Yab. Then once they come in, and we're hoping that once they come in, that even if it is not American spec, that they will see a sign of effort. At least we did try to do something good, that they will see that and say, okay, let's just give them this for trying. And so if we had done the 8 million thing, we would have basically done the drama, which is like everything everybody else is doing. So we wanted that element to bring people into the theaters, and basically that's our whole marketing plan right there. Do something that people will sit up and say, okay, this is different, and at least by the time they buy it, to see, we have made the money back to do a second one. And then again, we try to control costs. This one could have been made for 50 million now. But we really struggled to bring it under. Because Kajola was made for about 110, if I believe the press reports. 110 But as we hear, it's lasted just 2 days in the cinemas and they finished it. So I think 25 million is a reasonable risk.
I'm a student at the SMC here. First, I want to applaud your effort, but also I would like to question it. You said you want to do something different, you want to do the African matrix style. Sir, we all know Avatar. James Cameron had to wait. He made Titanic first of all. He had the script for Avatar even before Titanic. And then he had to wait for the technology to be available. Now, you mentioned your pain, who was the stunt choreographer, martial arts expert on Matrix, and the makers of the movie don't make the country of the movie. What I'm saying is, even if it's made by a Chinese man, and Lee is a Chinese man, he made Brokeback Mountain, which is a Western American. If you had gotten that off, it won't change the elements of Nigerianism. And then, in trying to make African Matrix, we don't have African biopics, we don't have epics, we don't have, I don't know, okay, I see the picture of our law, but there's nothing about our law. Now, I mean, again, we have 3D, CGI and everything. Hollywood started from comics to cartoons to 2D, 3D, and graded and gradually grew like that. Now I see Nigeria traveling, we jump, we're trying to jump and catch up, of which the gap, we've not even started cementing the foundation yet. And that's why I feel there's so many things you are going to try to redo. Now that's where my question comes in. How prepared are you for retakes? Because we know Nigerian actors, they are slim in one movie, after 6 months they get fat, and then they can't go back to that character. How do you intend to retake, achieve everything we've done here?
We've already done any second unit photography we needed to. We did that as soon as in 3 weeks or so after we wrapped. We viewed the footage, and when we saw a few things, of course, that we needed to reshoot, so we did all of that then. Alright, so actually we have a finished thing. It's already gone to census board and everything. It's already finished. We don't need to. One thing we did do a lot of which gave us a little problem, was ADR, additional dialogue recordings, because that's usually not done in Nigeria. Spirit of the Assassin, as it is now, the sound you see in it, it's on about close to 60%. Okay, it's all ADR. So not because we had real bad sound, but we wanted crispy, we wanted something fantastic. So we took the actors back to the studio. So that was the one that gave them a little problem, not because they were unwilling, but because they were not really used to the whole ADR thing. You know, watching a film and saying your lines again, it was a whole new thing to all of them. So that we spent a few days trying to get the thing right before they could eventually do it. So we are good. We did all, and that too we did as quickly as possible. We about actors getting fat. We didn't have that problem because, as I said, we did that soon after production. Now about needing help. Yes, we did. I did say that, for instance, when we came to the juncture of wire stunts, we realized that this might be something we might need specialist help for, and we did try. But just like my brother here was saying, it came down to Naira and Kobo. We tried to get someone. We offered to us what to us was way above budget, and we still got a no. So at that point, it was either take the budget up, which was virtually impossible, or abandon the project. And we felt, no, let's try this third option. Let's try and do it ourselves. To the extent to which we've succeeded, basically is what we see. It's not been terrible. It's not there yet. And as I said, this has been a learning curve for me personally and for everybody that was involved in the film. We are confident that our next project, maybe along these lines, our next project along these lines, will show significant improvement in technology and otherwise. And then the allusion to James Cameron. James Cameron's problem was not really like our problem. It was, the technology did not exist. He waited because it did not, 3D photography in live action. That's basically what he did. 3D photography in live action. It did not exist. Yes.
What I'm saying is, if you had waited with this movie, now what you achieve now, do you think it had been better?
Yes, of course, I think so. But then the question you have to ask is, so many films have chosen that route and never got made. So many films said, okay, let's wait for more money, for a better time, for this, for that, and it just, because things change every day. Somebody comes to you. So we had to just move ahead. And we've done it now and it's in the past. No matter what, it's in the past. All we can do is refer back to it. We can say, okay, we did it well, we didn't do so well, but it's in the past. That helps to to prepare for tomorrow. But if we've not, for instance, if we've not done it, we wouldn't be here talking about what was done. We should still be just discussing, is it possible or not. But now what we've done is we've at least set some sort of like a benchmark and a standard as, okay, let's see how we can improve from this point.
I'd like to ask what the message of the film is, especially for you said it's for Africa, right? For Africa, what is, if the target market is me, for example, what do you want me to take away from the film? What is the experience you want me to take away from the film? Secondly, I'd like to ask, you said it was in other cinemas. how much did you make from those cinemas? Because if it's shown there, of course, they have an opinion, they have standards as well. So I'd like to know how much exactly in profits or in anything did it yield?
Stykainico in South Africa is the biggest cinema chain over there, and they stayed about a little over a month. The mere fact that they accepted it and showed it so long is already some sort of commendation. And we're satisfied with our performance there. As I said, it's too early to talk about profit now. It's just 5 cinemas. 5 cinemas. We're hoping to show in tens at least before we can start talking about profit. But we are confident that if we perform as well in other places as we did in South Africa, yes, we should be talking about profit within 12 months or so. 12 months, and maybe we should be talking about profit if we perform as well as we did. So largely, yes, I would say we are doing well. Of course, by far our biggest market is right here in Nigeria. So we are really anticipating the Nigerian. That's where the greater anticipation is, and that's where we want to make the biggest profits, money, revenue, or gross. About what the message we are giving people, I think it's hope. I think it's hope. This film, the inspiration of this film came about because of all the stories in the papers about this person having been shot and nobody knows who shot him. Over the years, from Dele Giwa to Alfred Rewani to Kudirat Abiola to another, everybody, there was just investigations. So basically, it's not a satire, but basically they say they don't know. So okay, fine, it's this mythical assassin that did it all, and but in all that, all we're saying is, Nigeria is by no, especially with Boko Haram insurgency, that Nigeria is by no means very certain right now in terms of security, but we're just saying, still hanging there. We have a very strong belief in the sovereignty of God, and we say, okay, God is still mindful of Nigeria. There's still hope. Don't let the bomb blast and everything make you lose hope. Basically, don't be afraid. Take away fear, keep hope alive. So that basically is the message.
My engagement, because I was in another meeting, that has to do with my distribution also. My name is Osigwe. I'm a lawyer. I'm into intellectual property and derivatives. I'm also into distribution, media content distribution. And this is my second time of being in this place, courtesy of everyone, and I'm happy to meet you. You mentioned about how you want to go about distributing content in terms of our cinema exhibition. And to me, these are some of the challenges we are talking about for those that distribute content in this country. You shouldn't produce and also distribute. So to that extent, we have failed you in a way, because the reality is to conceptualize, direct and produce their content and push it to the other guys who are going to distribute across the world for you. Because it's assumed that over time we shall build our contacts and connection with cinema houses and cinema groups, whereby we just push what you have given us to them and take it off from there. Let's say 6-7 months down the line, we now reconcile figures and say, look at what you have made over time. But you mentioned South Africa, Kenya, St. Kitts, in fact even China. They all work Nigerian content over there, and it's a pity that for a producer, you still have to take out your time and money as you travel to push this over there. And when I you know, the so-called engagement the federal government is having with industry stakeholders, you know, I keep on trying to hear some languages, hear some talks about distribution. And when this distribution comes up, everyone's eyes just go to Alaba. Even you, when they asked you, yeah, area to making money, you mentioned the cinema and DVD. You understand what I'm saying? And you forgot a very key component of distribution, which is media content, media rights. You know, you have a situation whereby you have close to like 130 stations in Africa that are consuming Nigerian content. You understand what I'm saying? If you leave this country and go to East Africa, you find out if you go to, or you're in a hotel, you're watching TV, the content you watch are Nigerian movies. The music you hear on the stations, even in the clubs, all from Nigerian musicians and co. So the key thing is how do we connect? How do we make the seamless connection between the producers and distributors? The first that came here, people were shocked to know that there's an association that's into content distribution. But we've been there for almost 4 or 5 years now. But unfortunately, because it's a very funny industry really, our friends who are in the different spheres of our production, like the AMP and AGN and BGN, right? They know us, but when it comes to official situation, they don't tend to get us into the whole mix. I don't know why. But that's why I would like to attend this kind of seminars so I can engage with people like you. You can make your money. 25 million is not too much. In actual fact. Because if you have a platform of like, let's say 100 stations, and they're paying you roughly $1,000 per station, that's like $100,000 beyond the cinema and the DVD sale and everything. You understand what I'm saying? I know you can also go and engage with people like TSTV. If you have a content, they have a given amount they pay for content. But once they feel that so your own is different, they're very fair. They can discuss with you and they negotiate. What they pay is not what they're going to pay you. Gentlemen over there say it's an aggregator. I understand that fact. But when you see some content that comes to you, you don't pay this amount of money for all the content. Is that what you do? Yeah, I put it to you.
No,
because I promise, sir. Because you have to look beyond. Look at how much I pay for content. There's content that comes to me. I have to think back and say, do I really want this content? My best-selling content was not in the world. Funny enough, there was no known face there. But the guys put in so much thought into what they did. It's an action film actually. Whenever I go to any market, any content market, I just put it on my screen and watch. The white men in front, they sit down and they discuss about the film. Biola, they can be the MD of BSTV. I think I was in South Africa last year. Sorry, no, Kenya. Discovered market Kenya. She was carrying her tea. When she got to the saw this the trailer, said she wanted to watch the whole movie. And then they made an offer. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to encourage you. You understand what I'm saying? Once what you do is good, once it's okay, you can name your price. They might not pay what you name it, but they can at least negotiate with you. But something that's going to encourage you. And you have, like I said, have this platform. Beyond even the English-speaking countries, there are French countries that is consuming our content so much. You can go into, that's another point I'm trying to make. If I want to convert my content to French now, I have to go to Ghana or Togo. There's no French lab in Nigeria where you can do this. You understand what I'm saying? But if you do this, it widens the scope of your marketing. So I'm encouraging you that don't think it's just about cinema or TV. Or there are other, in fact, bigger areas you can even make money and recover your expenses once your product is okay.
Actually, it's not our failure. It's actually a failure of organized distribution in Nigeria. Okay, when we were about to shoot, we had issues, of course, with distribution. One way we responded was that we formed a distribution company specifically for Spirit of the Assets. It is called Diamond Pictures Distribution. It's registered, it's fully registered, it's met all those requirements of censors board and all that. And it's Diamond Distribution that takes Spirit everywhere. So it's basically like Silverbird Distribution. It's a legal, very, very legal distribution. Now, having said that, yes, this unfortunately would be the first film Diamond Pictures is distributed. So it's not really good to start distributing such a film as the first film. It should have been lovely if we had met someone like you before. But sincerely, when we did this film, there was only Idumota. And then one thing we thought of, it's even missing, was that as a second wave, we are going to do foreign language dubs. But that was after we had gone all through English-speaking African diaspora. So we were thinking of foreign language dub, but as you said again, there was that problem of where do we find voice actors to do this. So it was basically to be very candid, it was an idea that was rooted and then just kept on the back burner. Now, in terms of cable, again, it's not been very encouraging in Nigeria, especially. We'll take DSTV for instance. DSTV gives you $1,500 to about $2,500.
It depends on the product, I'm saying.
Yeah, so well, it's been our experience that I think the highest person I've ever had, the highest amount I've ever had DSTV give anybody is about 900,000 naira that they gave Okeafor for. Okeafor is the producer of Moving in Bondage. That's the highest I've ever had DSTV give. And when we looked at that, we felt, okay, fine, maybe someday, maybe 5 years down the line or so, okay, I'm really surprised that there is this budget, sincerely, because I keep myself pretty well informed as well as you guys. And if there is an organization that can, a one-stop shop to access that kind of platform, yeah, of course, every filmmaker would love to have that at least as at a second or third level of distribution. Yes, after we might have exhausted other windows. Okay, but we didn't have that. We didn't have that. Yes, having heard that, we will be looking further into that option.
When I see a good movie, I make adjustments. But there is always a ceiling. Whether it is DSTV, whether it is anybody, trust me, there's always a ceiling.
What's the ceiling?
It's something you discuss with us when you come. And the truth of the matter is that because I'm a filmmaker, before I started distributing, I'm very passionate when I see filmmakers who are trying to get their movies across. If you understand what I'm saying. I know what it takes to make a movie. It's not easy. With all the problem of looking for money, then the actors dealing with the actors every day, and then you come back and then you start dealing with distributing your film. It's not a good structure we have here, but that's what we're dealing with. And that's actually the reason why I decided that, to be honest with you, I love to be on the field making movies, but the money is in distribution, trust me. I see an Idumota person, he has so much, a personal friend of mine, I don't want to mention his name, this guy, the money he made from distribution, even before he started making a movie, built him a house, a state-of-the-house art house in this Lagos. And this is somebody I was watching like he started. Do you understand what I'm saying? You were just carrying the camera around, jumping from location to location, say you're a filmmaker. The guy is making his money every day. So I look at it and I see the pain of filmmakers. Whatever I can do within the capacity that I have, definitely. But I have also, dealt with this DSTV you're talking about, and among other people, and I know that they always have a ceiling.
So you spent, your budget was like 25 million. You spent, let's say, 1 million on costume. I don't know what you spent on makeup / hair. And it seems that your lead actor, your heroine, at least from the little I saw online, she's sort of a newcomer, as it were. So how did you cast the actors and actresses? And could you give, I mean, I don't know if it would be breaking protocol or secrets or whatever, could you maybe give maybe an idea of what the actors and actresses in the film are worth? You know, like there was a time we heard or knew that, okay, Denzel Washington was like 10 million per picture or whatever. That's the, then why, you know, you were saying something about colonial mentality and all of that, but why did you start showing the film outside Nigeria first? So those are my two questions to you. Then the third thing I just wanted to say is that between him, the other gentleman here, and SMC and everyone here, I think what happens in the Nigerian film industry is what happens in everything in Nigeria, as it were. At times there is a lack of trust. At times we are too fragmented. I'm a visual artist and a fashion designer, and I've never really been a fan of Nigerian movies, as it were. I mean, I enjoy all the old dramas, but I just said, okay, instead of just staying out there complaining, it's still something, we're doing something. Anything you can do to, you know, lend your weight. I mean, no matter what, you still have a green passport. So I want to get into maybe costuming for film, I mean, if it's possible or whatever. Now, SMC, since they always seem to get interesting people on board, I don't know if they can organize maybe like a stakeholders forum soon, because he that has been in the industry for 12 years, he has also been around. We don't know there is a certain guild or body for film distribution. I don't know if there's an association for costume designers. So maybe if we're able to get everybody that is doing things in the Nigerian film industry, so everybody gets to know themselves that, okay, you mean there is a body that can help with film distribution and they are legit. So it's not only the people in Idumota or Alaba. Oh, you mean there is a pool of costume designers or specific makeup artists for films and all of that? Because I was also going to ask you maybe afterwards the name of the makeup person you worked with, because since you, at least according to what I got in the email, you also did the costume. So those are the things I wanted to say. Thank you.
So I just did costume designs, and someone else supervised actual tailoring and and then I'd like to comment on casting for the film. Okay, since we are doing something we felt was different, we didn't want too many of the usual faces. You know, we wanted something fresh. We felt that would best be served by fresh actors, new talent. So what we did was that basically we held auditions and tried to get new faces involved, but with an eye to the marketability of the film. We decided to spice these new faces with a few veterans. So Zach Oji is in this film. Akim Rahman is in this film. Emeka Ani is in this film. Yemi Park is also in this film. So that's basically what. But as you rightly said, the heroine, the lead actress, is someone fresh. I think this is her first film. She's been involved in media, yes, but she's not really done any films. She's done some acting, informal, that way, but this is her first film. As to amount, sorry, I can't really divulge exact sums, but someone like Yemi Black, and well over $500,000, over well over $500,000, of course, there's one like psychology is as A-list as you get in this country. So, yeah, we did the good one. And then about, I just want to mention for your own personal use. Yes, there is a guild for costumers and makeup, but it's all joined in one. There isn't a separate guild for costume and makeup. I think they call it specialized arts also. That's the guild they have. And it's free for anyone who is interested and demonstrates that ability. So I think they have a small criteria about you having done the film before. I'm not sure that used to be part of the criteria, requirements for entry. I'm not so sure.
Coming here because he gave us so much of his time. It's been quite interesting. And I think what stands out more than anything else is the talent that we have here, that it's possible to do quite a lot with the living that we have together. So thank you very much for coming. And thank you again for coming, and we hope you will honor our next invitation.